It's another round of a heavyweight fight today at the ballpark. Two of the best lefties in the game meet once again. It's the third time this season these two aces have squared off. And this time a sweep is on the line. Bumgarner, Kershaw, Giants, Dodgers. Next.
We've got day baseball here at AT&T Park as we get ready to wrap up this three-game series, Giants and Dodgers. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants have won the first two games in this series, both by way of the shutout. So, well, look, you got two horses going today in Kershaw and Bumgarner. Who knows what's going to happen, but it's likely you're going to see a pretty good pitching matchup.
Well, I would expect so. This is the third time these two guys have teed up against each other head-to-head, and we're in the third week of May. So Bumgarner won the first two. The Dodgers have lost the first two of this series. They've been shut out. You know that Kershaw is going to be grinding. Now, he's 14-6 lifetime against the Giants, and Bumgarner 12-5. It's going to be about pitching, and to me, it doesn't get any better than what we're going to watch today.
Yeah, Arias is at shortstop and Duffy at second, so a new double play combination just for Kershaw. Stay tuned. We'll take you to our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
By Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. By Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places. And is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. By Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability and resale value. Toyota, let's go places. And by DraftKings.com. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com with the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Enter promo code ORANGE for free entry.
We've got day game action at the Yard. Your San Francisco Giants looking to continue their winning ways. They won 5 straight today. An opportunity to sweep the Dodgers for the second time this season. Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Amy Gutierrez. And how about a shout out to Buster Posey? He's doing what he does so well, and that's hit a baseball. His 2-run blast last night, our AT&T Uvers rewind today. We take you back to the 7th inning off Yimi Garcia. Buster goes yard. Through the mist, through the fog. It's his 7th home run this season, 90th career round tripper, which ties him with Bob Brindley for 21st in San Francisco's record book. Buster Posey getting it done at the plate. He will be behind the dish today as well, catching for Madison Bumgarner. It'll be the 3rd time this season Madison Bumgarner squares off against Clayton Kershaw. Game 3 set to start shortly of this series between the Giants and the Dodgers lineups. First pitch, Kruk and Kipe, all coming your way. Stay with us.
The Giants out of the dugout for the final game of this series. Game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily starting tomorrow. 62 degrees here at the Yard. We got light winds, humidity at 80%, and it is kind of cloudy. Let's take a look at the Dodgers lineup that'll be facing Madison Bumgarner. Dodgers at 24-15. It'll be Peterson, Hernandez, and Kendrick. Adrian Gonzalez will start for the first time this year against Bumgarner. And you can see what he's done this season against the Giants. Turner, Van Slyke, and Guerrero. Ellis will hit 8th and Kershaw 9th.
On the hill today for the Giants will be the left-hander Madison Bumgarner, 6'5", 235-pound, 25-year-old. He is in his 6th year at the big league level. This is what he has done in 8 starts, 4-2 with a 3.20 ERA. And look at the strikeout walk ratio. 46 strikeouts against 8 walks. Just 56 runners allowed in 50 2/3 inning. And really has been outstanding since, well, I'd say about the 3rd start, when he really locked into a set of mechanics that allowed him to use all of his pitches. And those pitches would include a fastball that's low 90s. Naturally has a cut to it. He's got a slider that is kind of an enhanced cut. Go flat, go down. He can do 2 things with it. Curveball and a changeup. And when he's right, he can strike out with all of them. Let's take a look at the defense that the Giants will use today behind Madison Bumgarner. Starting in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Aoki, Pagan, and Pitts, best arm in right field. Arias and McGee on the left side of the infield. Duffy and Belt on the right side. And Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs. For Madison Bumgarner, who lifetime against this Dodger team is 12-5 with a 2.46 ERA.
All right, let's take a look at McDonald's true stories. Bumgarner, Kershaw, 5 career starts head-to-head. Bumgarner's got 3 wins. Kershaw's got 1. Kershaw's got the lower ERA and the lower WHIP, and they both pitched extremely well.
Now, both sets of statistics is going to get each one of these guys on an all-star team. That's how good they've been pitching this year. But if you ask either one of them, they'll probably tell you they could pitch better, and that's kind of what makes them good.
So here's Peterson to lead things off. Peterson hitting at 236. First pitch of the ball game on its way, and it's a called strike. So he started right on time, which is just about the way they do things around here. Peterson 0 for 1 lifetime against Bumgarner. Swing and a miss, 0-2. You're
going to see a good strike zone to pitch to today. Scott Berry's got a big strike zone. You'll see knee highs, you'll see corners, and you'll see belt high strikes called.
On deck is Kike Hernandez. Off the line at third is McGee, and the 0-2 pitch, and that's a foul back. So Peterson got a fastball that he liked, but he didn't put it in play. Dodgers have lost 2. They're 7-10 on the road, which is a bit of an unusual record when you consider they're 9 games over 500. The 0-2 pitch. Got him, and that's how this game gets started.
Challenge fastball right above the hands, inside corner. And the first thing you try to do in every game is establish the fastball, and he does in one hitter. Let's take a look at the Toyota Exmo. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Big, big shoulder turn, the 3/4 delivery. Don't see it early, and he gets it on you quick.
Here's Hernandez, who takes a strike. He's 2 for 4 lifetime against Bumgarner. Overall hitting .286 with the home run and 3 RBIs. And that pitch is down low on the appeal. No swing.
Ted Barrett, the crew chief at first base today, making the no call.
On deck is Howie Kendrick. So Ted Barrett said that pitch was outside. Or make that Scott Berry, I beg your pardon.
Close. And that same location you see right there at some point today is going to get called a strike. That's how close it was.
Down the left field line, that's going to be a fair ball. It'll roll past Aoki. And Hernandez has a 1-out double. So here's Kendrick. Kendrick hitting at 304. He's got 4 home runs, 17 driven in. 6 at bats against Bumgarner, 0 for 6. 2 hits last night, 2 for 8 in the series. A little pop up out of play, and it's 0-1. With Adrian Gonzalez to follow. See the rest of the umpires. Barry, we mentioned behind the plate. Then it's Barrett, Conroy, and Hernandez from first to third. 0-1. And we see the first breaking ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Most of the really good ones can be vulnerable in that first inning.
Well, you're right. It's when you haven't really gotten comfortable with your rhythm. Perhaps you're a little amped up, adrenaline flowing through your release point. Different type of slope on the mound than the bullpen.
Rolled foul.
And for whatever reason, in the first inning, you are vulnerable.
Well, you see the Dodgers have not had a lot of luck with runners in scoring position. 1 for 25 this season. Got him.
Such a great look from behind home plate. You can see how low the release is from Bumgarner and how hard it is to pick up. And just, again, the fastball, the payoff pitch, and just blows it by. A good fastball hitter.
A little peek by Kendrick as he walked away. Like, really?
He cannot believe he misses this, but that's the look right there, and that's what makes Bumgarner. That little bit of deception because of that big upper body turn, the low 3/4 release. You just don't see the ball come out of his hand like you do other pitchers.
Here's Adrian Gonzalez with Hernandez at second base, 2 outs. Gonzalez takes wide in this series. Gonzalez went 1 for 3 on Tuesday and 0 for 4 last night. But his numbers are very good on the season. Duffy in shallow right field. Swinging a foul out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. I mentioned doing the lineups that the first 2 games that Bumgarner has faced the Dodgers, Peterson and Gonzalez were not in the lineup. Nor was Andre Ethier. Trickle foul. The guy that's got pretty good ownage on Bumgarner is Juan Uribe, and he's not in the lineup.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him not in the lineup for that very reason.
There's Juan Uribe, the former Giant, who will always be remembered here, as he should.
As he should. Had everything to do with the Giants' success in 2010, winning their first World Championship. He was the difference maker in the NLCS against the Phillies.
So it's 1-2 to Gonzalez. And it's high. Gonzalez thought about it. Now Gonzalez, his numbers against Bumgarner, 4 for 35 lifetime. 4 for 35.
Justin Turner getting psyched to hit.
So it's 3-2. There's Turner. Turner's got good numbers against Bumgarner, or at least productive numbers. So with that in mind, Maybe Bumgarner goes right after Gonzalez. We'll see. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bumgarner certainly not afraid of a challenge. And he walked him. So first walk issued, and here's Turner. Turner 7 for 25 against Bumgarner with 2 doubles and 2 home runs.
Yeah, 2 homers came in 1 game. And he's having a good season. I mean, he really had a breakout year for the Dodgers last year. Turner from Southern California. So you can understand how much it meant to him to have a great year last season in front of the hometown crowd, friends and family. And he's picked it up again here this year.
Nice block by Buster Posey. Hernandez had thoughts at second. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
And that was a changeup on the first pitch. And Bumgarner did not throw it properly. He quit on it. So again, that little bit of vulnerability right here. And you kind of hold your breath. He's really eliminated a pitch. I don't think you're going to see Buster Posey call that changeup after the way you saw him throw it that first pitch.
So it's 2-0. Gonzalez has got a huge lead at first, which would mean if you're a middle infielder on the left side of the diamond and you get a ground ball and you're going to go to second for a force play, you better hurry. Even though Gonzalez isn't that fast, it is a huge lead. Buster Posey's going to come back, but this is going to be out of play. At Candlestick, guess what, folks?
Inning over.
That's an OUT.
That's an OUT. But
might have blown back into fair territory and may have been a double.
Yeah. Foul ball caught by Chili Davis in center field.
Joe Bite, Candlestick today to get here, and there's still a little standing. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-2.
Really is his best weapon right now. His curveball really hasn't shown up. The changeup hasn't really shown up, and the slider's flat. So other than that, everything else is working.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Up the middle. Arias shovels. Got him. Side retired. Nice job by Bumgarner to pitch out of the mini mess. Giants are coming up. the lineup that Kershaw will be facing: Aoki, Duffy, and Pagan. Posey, the cleanup hitter, then Pence and Arias. Arias has got, not many have good numbers against Kershaw. Arias is one of them. Belt, McGee, and Bumgarner to round it out.
On the hill today for the Dodgers will be Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw, 6'4", 225-pounder. He's a 7-year veteran at the big league level, 27 years of age. This is what he has done in 8 starts, 2-2 with a 4.24 ERA, a little uncharacteristically high. However, look at the strikeout, 66 against 14 walks in 51 innings. For Kershaw, you're going to see a fastball that can go low to mid-90s, curveball, slider, and a changeup. And which doesn't tell you the whole story. He'll cut a lot of fastballs, and he can back off of speed with the curveball and the changeup. He's got a nice feel for the pitches and very deceptive in his delivery. Lifetime against the Giants, 14-6.
Here's Aoki, and he shoots it foul, and it's 0-1. Aoki hitting .289, a home run, 12 driven in 15 at bats against Kershaw. Nori Aoki has 2 hits. One ball and 1 strike. Aoki started and went for 4 on Tuesday. He did not play in the game last night.
Something didn't feel right there for Kershaw.
One pitch. 1-2.
Yeah. Take a look at the pitch usage for Kershaw. About 57% of the time you're going to get fastballs, but then curveballs and sliders, depending on what's working. A few changeups, not many. But the thing about Kershaw, you saw the 1% of the time he'll throw changeups. He'll still throw it 3-2. Got outstanding command of it. And he's got tons of confidence, just like Madison Bumgarner.
Okay, flips one to left, and that's a hit.
Let's take a look at the defense that the Dodgers will use today. Starting in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Guerrero, Peterson, and Van Slyke. Outstanding arms on the corners. Hernandez and Turner on the left side of the infield. Kendrick and Gonzalez on the right side. And A.J. Ellis will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Matt, Duffy, and Kershaw in the stretch. And Duffy takes a belt-high strike. Well, this gives you a pretty good example of how the strike zone can vary. It may not have been a strike with Chris Conroy on Tuesday or Angel Hernandez last night. But as a hitter, you got to figure it out. And a pitcher, too.
It doesn't take long, but it is the one thing that it's all brand new every day. A different guy, a different set of eyes, different size for an umpire, different style of calling balls and strikes, and it changes the whole strike zone.
Duffy bounces this one to Gonzalez. There's one, not in time as Duffy beats it out. So Duffy aboard now with Pagan.
Gonzalez a perfect strike to Hernandez, and then back. Duffy just does beat it out, and that keeps Kershaw on the stretch.
Here's Pagan hitting .320. Buster Posey to follow. And Pagan takes a strike. Pagan 12 for 45. against Kershaw. 4 of those 12 hits doubles.
Buster Posey fan.
On the ground to third. Turner, a quick toss to Kendrick, and that's a double play. So Kershaw pitches through the leadoff single. We'll head to the second. It's 0-0.
Lincecum, strong through 7 innings, 3 hits allowed, couple of walks, 4 strikeouts. Just spotting his fastball, using all his pitches, and really took the sting out of the Dodger bats. He is our Togo's big play, the Togo's way. The authenticator putting on the sticker, and that is a souvenir.
So here's Scott Van Slyke. He will lead things off. Van Slyke takes wide. Right at 300 with a couple of home runs, 14 driven in.
Bumgarner hasn't quite figured out the release point yet.
Tap foul, 2 balls and a strike.
Well, last night Tim Lincecum passed Carl Hubble on the all-time list. Christy Mathewson and Juan Marichal, Amos Russi, and Lincecum now number 4 in the top 5. So a night of historical significance.
Three and one.
Let's see, did he go? Big high left leg. That's a strike.
All right, let's check in with Amy G.
All right, guys, I think you'll agree with this. Tim Lincecum, kind of a trendsetter fashion-wise in Major League Baseball. Last year he was rocking that sporty infinity scarf. This year he's got something going on under his cap. So I asked him, what are you wearing? He clarified. He said it's not exactly a do-rag. It's a really wide headband. They are league issued, and they came out earlier this season. He saw it. He liked it. He said, I think I could rock that. He was wearing it in his warm-ups and at practice, and then he said, I'm going to take it to the mound, and it's been working. Keep it on, Timmy. We like it, guys.
It has been working, absolutely. Thanks, Amy. Here's Alex Guerrero, who takes a strike.
Well, he's a ninja. puts it on, he's a ninja. And last night, he was very good.
Guerrero hitting at .310. Swing and a miss. Nothing in 2. 2 for 4 on Tuesday. And then against Lincecum in the bullpen, 0 for 4 in the game last night.
I mean, he looks like a completely different guy than what the Giants saw earlier in the year. When we first saw this guy, you couldn't get him off his back leg. He was timed to everything. And he was squaring up everything. I mean, he had 5 home runs in his first 22 at-bats and just made everything look like it was easy. He made ballparks look small. And everybody's wondering, who is this guy?
One and 2 with A.J. Ellis on deck. Got him.
And the more you see him now, the more human he's become. Just a little backdoor slider, nails the outside corner, and he cannot lay off it. You know, if Scott Barry strikes on him, there's no guarantee that would not have been called a strike. I think it was a little outside, but Guerrero tried to cover it, couldn't.
So here's A.J. Ellis. A.J. Ellis takes a strike at the knees. 125 with an RBI. Ellis 3 for 24 against Bumgarner. Line drive. Pagan. 2 down. And here's Kershaw. Kershaw on the year, the exact same numbers is Bumgarner hitting, 1 for 17. And Kershaw takes a strike.
Now, if you're pitching against a guy like Kershaw and you see his swing, you would give him a lot more respect than you would a 1 for 17 guy. He's got a pretty good idea what he's doing. And you can say the same thing for Bumgarner. You see 1 for 17. Oh, this guy can't hit. Not the case.
Not the case. One and 1 to Kershaw. Out of play. 1 and 2. Now Kershaw's had 3 hits and 9 at bats against Bumgarner. Two and 2.
Just has not got the kill pitch within his grasp yet. Still looking for it. He wants a curveball.
Hit on the ground to Arias. Side retired. Posey, Pence, Arias coming up.
Bay Area Mini.
Here at AT&T Park on a Thursday afternoon, it's 0-0.
All right, time now for our Geico quote. This one comes from Buster Posey on last night's home run. He said, I got that one pretty good. I've hit some balls in that spot before that haven't gone out, but I thought that one would, and indeed it did. And for Posey, it was home run number 7, and it was icing on the cake. Set up away, fastball goes up and in, ba-boom. Yimi Garcia throws hard, and he supplied a lot of power with that pitch, and Buster Posey pumped it out of here. And a night where you didn't see any carry either.
If there was ever a night where the foghorn was going to go off after a home run, it was last night.
Well, with all the fog and mist.
As he hit it right through it.
Look out, Hunter Pence. That thing went right through the on-deck circle. Pence was standing off to the side. Second night in a row that this happened to Posey.
Good luck last night.
Yeah. Heads up.
Very high.
This is the look right here. There's a little bit of deception as he gets ready, and then he drops down on his back leg. Right there. And then he comes up out over the top. And he's not an easy guy to pick up either. Just that little bit of deception. It does two things. One, it keeps all of his weight back and gets him gathered on his backside. And it does not allow you an early peek at the ball. Then he comes up over the high three-quarter release, which is a classic left-hander's release. That little look from home plate, I mean, it gives you a real good idea how hard it is to hit this guy.
Posey, one hopper to Hernandez. One out. Well, the Braves are going to make their only visit to San Francisco, and that series will start on May 28th. The Sunday game, the 105 start, the first 20,000 fans are going to receive a World Champions banner presented by Coca-Cola. Get your tickets at sfgiants.com/tickets. Here's Pence. Pence has got really unusual numbers against Kershaw. Very unusual. He's 4 for 54. With 13 strikeouts.
But it's a hard 4 for 54.
I mean, he is hit literally 50 line drives. And there isn't any doubt that that's just a pitch he doesn't pick up at Kershaw.
No, he's a guy he doesn't see well, flat out.
Got him. Tried to outguess him, and it didn't work. 2 outs.
He's got 4 pitches he can strike you out with. And when he's spotting the fastball, like he did right there, and he can go inside, outside at the knees and then elevate above your hands, it's a rough assignment. And here, just a shock and awe fastball that just goes right through the glove and the outside corner at the knees. So as a hitter, you think about what you saw and you try and process a new game plan the next time you face him.
0-1 pitch to Arias. Arias fouls it back. 0-2.
2 pitches, 2 hand burning cutters. Last time Arias faced Kershaw, he had 3 hits in the game. That doesn't happen very often against Kershaw.
Might put him on the ballot for the Hall of Fame. Up the middle. Kershaw between his legs, going to recover and throw him out. And that'll end the inning. It's never boring here at AT&T Park.
Never boring.
No score.
Available at Men's Warehouse.
Here it's no score as we head to the top of the third inning. Top of the order, Jock Peterson, and then Hernandez, and then Kendrick. Bumgarner with 40 pitches. And Peterson takes a called strike. Peterson struck out in the first inning. Here he shows bunt and he takes a strike, so it's 0-2.
That's a little better breaking ball than what he had the first time through the lineup. So maybe he's finding the release point, getting that snap back on the breaking ball.
The 0-2 to Peterson. Little pop up. It's a flare. And it's going to fall for a base hit. And now it rolls past Pagan and Peterson into second base. So a little duck snort into center field.
Well, it's going to be ruled a double. I mean, Duffy has to go a long way. You have to play deep if you're an outfielder because of the power of Peterson. But here's where the Dodgers catch a break. The ball bounces, and Duffy hits it with the knee and kicks it away. That is not an error, so that is a double all the way. So leadoff double for the Dodgers with Peterson, who has good speed.
Here's Hernandez, who doubled in the first inning. So Bumgarner now will have to pitch through a leadoff double. Hit up the middle. Duffy has it. Duffy's play will be at first. Hernandez is thrown out. And on the play, Peterson goes to third. Thursday, May 28th, Chinese Heritage Night here at the ballpark. You're going to get a Giants-themed Year of the Ram figurine. Remember, you need a special ticket to get that. sfgiants.com/special event. Infield will play in for Kendrick, who struck out in the first. In the dirt. No ball, or make it 1 ball and no strikes.
In case you're wondering if it's a bit unusual playing an infield in this early in a ball game, a tie ball game, it's really more respect out of Kershaw than anything else.
Kendrick started to go but held up, so it's 2-0. That breaking ball in the dirt.
It is a strikeout situation for Madison Bumgarner, but he's put himself into a 2-0 hole here with a couple of breaking balls. He's kind of forced himself to throw a fastball, and Kendrick is a good fastball hitter.
Swing and a miss.
Does not give in to the fastball. That's a 2-0 slider, and that was a good one.
Pretty good players right there. Hit on the ground. Arias. Peterson holding, 2 down.
And by playing the infield in, you just prevented a run. And now with 2 outs, they can sag back to their normal defensive depth. But what a nice 2-1 pitch. Just that little cut fastball got right up the bat of a quick bat, a quick, good fastball hitting bat. And Peterson, with good speed at third base, cannot advance.
So here's Gonzalez, who drew a walk in the first. Foul back, and it's 0-1. So there's that pitch that Bumgarner is really never afraid to throw to anybody.
And that's the natural fastball. I mean, from that low three-quarter delivery, it's going to have a natural movement that runs flat away from a lefty and flat into a righty. It just cuts across home plate.
Way outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 to Gonzalez. Swinging a drive to left, hit well. At the wall, Aoki, and he makes the catch. And that'll end the inning. Belt, McGee, Bumgarner coming up.
Walk-off hit off Juan Nicasio, and everybody would go home happy, and the Giants would sweep the Dodgers. That is our T-Mobile game changer.
And here's Belt. Belt hitting at .313. And he hits a high fly ball center field for Peterson. And Peterson will make the catch. 1 out.
Well, I expect a little more just by the sound of that ball. And it wasn't even close to the warning track.
Dave Fleming, he'll be in here in innings 4, 5, and 6. I'll be back here in the 7th. So here's McGee. McGee is hitting at .196. And he takes a strike.
And we want to extend our condolences to John Miller and his family. John lost his father last night, passed away, which is why John is not here today.
On the ground towards the hole, Turner cuts it off. He knows he's got some time. 2 down.
So John, we're thinking about you.
And here's Bumgarner. Bumgarner on the year, 1 for 17. High drive, left field. It is out of here. the Giants lead 1-0. And that, my friends, was a big boy home run.
Wow.
And it lit this crowd up, I got to tell you.
They set up inside, and it leaks out over the plate. A fastball challenge. And Bumgarner gets every bit of it. Second hit of the year. That was loud.
Here's Nori Aoki. It's his 7th career home run.
Take a look at just where it wound up. On a day where there's not a lot of carry, that's about a third of the way up the bleacher section.
Up the middle, off of Kershaw's knee. Turner recovers and throws, and Aoki's aboard. Kershaw says he's fine. And that'll bring up Matt Duffy.
See the stat right there. That's the first home run that Clayton Kershaw has ever given up to an opposing pitcher. Now let's take a look at the ball as to where it hit the leg of Kershaw. It got him on the calf of his left leg, on the outside of the calf. So a 2-out single.
Here's Duffy. Duffy reached on a fielder's choice in the first. Duffy rolls it to short. Hernandez will go to Kendrick, and that'll end the inning. Bumgarner with his first home run of the year. And when it leaves the yard, it's bye-bye, baby. Dave Fleming will be in. It's 1-0 Giants.
A pretty loud home run there for Madison Bumgarner.
I would say. You think he's sort of pleased that home run number 1 this season came off Kershaw?
I think he's pleased.
Yeah.
And I think that the little mono that has been going on between Kershaw and Bumgarner just took another level.
I would say. Man, fascinating. Justin Turner leads off for the Dodgers. And it's now 1-0. What do you always say? Hit a home run, pitch a shutout?
There you go. I mean, there's your run, pal. Make it work.
Could be today. We'll see. Well, Turner's dangerous. He's had some success against Bumgarner in the past. And a cutter swung on and missed.
He likes that ball up. He's a good mistake hitter.
Good player.
He is, and he really had a great year last year, his first year with the Dodgers, which meant the world to him because he's from Southern California. And he's backed it up again this season.
He swings at that one. Pagan moving back quickly, still going back, and what a catch by Angel Pagan.
Well, Turner's got some power. And this ballpark today is getting some drift out to center. It's getting a little help from the wind. And Pagan going back, and right here he's thinking, man, that thing's taken off. And finally he has to do a last-minute leap and extend out. I mean, that's all he's got. Nice play.
I think you're right. Off the bat, he thought he was going to have no problem, and it just kept carrying. So that turned into a really good play. Here's Van Slyke. Guy can hit it a long way when he gets into one. Strike one. Bumgarner's home run. I don't think he needed much help from the wind.
No, that thing was tattooed.
Clayton Kershaw had never given up a home run to a pitcher until then. I mean, Kershaw's been around for a while now. He's still young. But
346 at bats or something?
Yeah. Kershaw made his big league debut in 2008. Here's a swing and a miss by Van Slyke. Another good cutter from Bumgarner.
Well, he picked up the slider last inning, and he's finally got a little snap on it. Curveball's still a little lazy yet, but he's kind of shied away from it. Buster Posey's been calling more sliders, and they're much different now this time through the lineup than they were the first.
Jam shot, foul. Trying to beat the shift there to the opposite side.
Glenn Casillas get a chance to get a little work in as our ball dude. Let's go, Glenn.
That's the kind of play you want as a ball dude.
Well, especially if you have a glove like this. It's Mark Madden, our other ball dude.
He's the best ball dude we have in terms of ability.
Yeah,
he's the
good.
man.
He's good.
High, 2-2. Is it sad that I have scouting reports on our ball dudes?
No, thorough, very thorough.
Goes to his left well. Has a little struggle to his right. That's why he's over on the third base side today.
Leave no stone uncovered, unturned, unpolished.
Now Van Slyke, and time was granted. Bumgarner started that motion.
Well, go through until you see the umpire call it off.
Yeah. Fire a snot rocket and then get ready to throw another pitch.
Much lighter now.
Free and easy. He can really let it go. 2-2. Curveball into center field. And maybe that would qualify as one of those lazy curveballs. One out hit for Scott Van Slyke.
Every time we see Scott Van Slyke, he adds like another inch to his beard. By September, it's going to be covering the D on his chest. It has become quite popular around baseball. A lot of beards, long beards, gnome-like beards.
On the field and off. Here's Guerrero, runner at first, one out. Outside, ball one. Tried that backdoor cutter. Isn't it amazing how the Giants, I mean, Guerrero was beating them and everybody early in this year, and they've made a big adjustment in how they're pitching him. If you pitch him in, it better be way in. That one is fouled off to the right.
Well, when he got hot early in the year and separated himself from the herd, he became a puzzle that every pitcher in the National League, or any team that was playing the Dodgers for that matter, was trying to solve. And he was so confident. It really did. For a while, it didn't make any difference what speed you threw him, what location you threw him. He was on it.
Way inside with the fastball.
But it's all part of a process when you're a young hitter, a new hitter in this league. Once you establish yourself, well, they'll adjust to you. Then you have to adjust back to them, and they adjust back to you, and you adjust back to them, and on it goes your whole career.
It's part of the fun, the fascination. That ball is hit foul, back out of play.
It's what you miss when you retire, believe me. You're talking about the power that he had, and this is off of Bumgarner back in April. And this, at the point, he had a 2-0 shutout going, and that tied the score. Bumgarner got a no decision in that game. The Giants would go on to win that ball game. But an impressive swing of the bat from Guerrero.
1-0 Giants, 2-2. Bumgarner to the plate. Guerrero pops it up. Pagan has a read on it. 2 down.
Well, the Warriors continue their playoff quest. Game 2, Western Conference Finals. Coverage begins today at 5 p.m. And you'll see Warriors in Playoff Central. It's right here at Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, an hour before every game. Post game and on Sports Central all the way through the playoffs. Roz, Monty, Ratto, Papa Saint, J.B. Feldy, and Farid with the coverage that you expect from the home of the authentic Warriors fans. So we wish the Warriors nothing but the best.
What a day for Bay Area sports. You got this one, Kershaw, Bumgarner, Giants, Dodgers, and tonight, that one. Ground ball to short. Arias, kind of a lazy flip, and Duffy could not handle it. That's going to be an error on Joaquin Arias. So that should be inning over. Instead, Kershaw gets to hit. And I mean, wasn't a great flip, but.
Well, you're right. It was not a great flip. And watch Duffy brace himself. And I think perhaps, he could have come on almost like he was bracing himself to get a throw off, which you don't need when there's 2 outs.
Foul tip from Kershaw. Might have gotten a piece of Buster.
Slowing down right there to get to the bag. And this thing really nowhere near it. So I don't know if he could have played any different. The throw was bad. And it was Arias who is certainly deserving of the air. So you have a chance to end an inning. Now it extends. Pitcher, you could have had him leading off next inning. You lose that. Mr. Posey getting dinged right in the face.
So he took a minute. Buster's all right. But yeah, all that stuff you're talking about. Extra work for Bumgarner. 1-strike pitch. Down and away.
Well, and you have to believe that this is a little more than just an at-bat for Kershaw after he had given up the home run to Bumgarner.
And don't let those numbers fool you. By the standards of pitchers, he can hit. He can swing the bat. That curve misses, and it's 2-1.
Up. Bumgarner trying to pitch through an air, trying to pick up Joaquin Arias. And you do say that to yourself on the mound. I'm going to pick you up.
2-1. Kershaw to center field. He hit it pretty well, but it's in the yard. And that'll do it. He does pitch around the air. Took him a few extras, but still with the big hitters coming up, 1-0 Giants.
That would be Dave Righetti right on the top of the heap. 16th year here in San Francisco. Don Cooper with the White Sox, Darren Balsley with the Padres, Rick Honeycutt with the Dodgers. He's in his 10th year, and Roger McDowell of the Braves, and that rounds out the top 5, and that's our forward right choice.
I heard our friend, a longtime big league general manager, now broadcaster Jim Bowden, a couple days ago talking on his baseball talk show, and somebody asked about Dave Righetti, and Jim Bowden says, I think Dave Righetti should be in the Hall of Fame. And his point was pitching coaches should be recognized, just like managers, hitting coaches, the all-time greats, and he thinks Dave Righetti fits in that category.
Well, I couldn't agree more, and I've been making that argument for a while. That's the one. They have a Scouts Hall of Fame. It's not in Cooperstown, but they have an acknowledged Scouts Hall of Fame. They acknowledge executives, they acknowledge broadcasters, they acknowledge managers, and certainly the players, but they don't acknowledge coaches, and they need to start doing it. And Dave Righetti is a Hall of Fame coach.
Pagan takes in the dirt. Ball 1 from Kershaw. Well, I'm with you. Guys like Righetti, and he's been around for so long. He's impacted so many careers positively. Doing great work again this year. Pagan takes a strike. You got Posey on deck, and then Pence against Kershaw. Giants lead 1-0. The 1 run on a Madison Bumgarner home run. First home run by a pitcher ever against Kershaw. That curveball hangs high. Just like Bumgarner, he has not yet had a feel of that thing today. It is fascinating, these two going head to head for a third time. There's a strike on the outside. The home run adds something to it. I mean, the biggest part of this rivalry right now is, you could argue Kershaw and Bumgarner, 2 best pitchers in the National League. But the trophies, because Bumgarner was so extraordinary in the playoffs and has been all 3 times. Curve ripped down the left field line, and that's a hit. Pagan will make it into second. A leadoff double.
Now, think back early in this at bat about the one breaking ball that Kershaw threw him that took his balance away. Here he comes back, throws it again, and he waits just that little millisecond that allows him to have control of his legs through the swing. He pauses, plants, and then here he comes. It helps when you have a hanger up around the belt. It's easy to defend. But watch the plant and just that little bit of hesitation that allows him to stay back and beat the location mistake. But the timing of the pitch was timed, and we saw it earlier in the at-bat.
Good hitting. Pagan in scoring position. Now you get Posey up with nobody out, a chance to add to the lead. Buster takes low.
And 100% pure strikeout situation right here.
Yeah.
And you know what Kershaw's thinking, one of the best strikeout pitchers in all of baseball. This is going to be a good at-bat because Posey's obviously got some things he wants to accomplish in this at-bat. He wants to at least have a productive out. At the very least, get Pagan over with nobody out. He wants to knock him in, but Kershaw's trying to strike him out.
The 1-0 in there, right on the inside at 92.
And if you watch A.J. Ellis, the catcher for the Dodgers, he'll cheat on that inside corner righties. He'll set that target almost completely off the plate. But when you're a pitcher like Kershaw with his command, when you can split those knees and Ellis doesn't even move his glove, you'll get a lot of umpires to give you that, especially one like Scott Berry, the plate umpire who's got a wide zone.
Kershaw looking back at Pagan. That one misses inside. A lot of movement to it running in.
Well, 1-1 count really is a pitcher's count, and he can go out of the plate and hopefully have a hitter chase. That's a pretty good take right there for Buster Posey.
You saw those numbers. These are the spots where Kershaw actually has been vulnerable this year, unlike every other year in his career. Posey had a good cut, but fouled it off.
Again, burning that cutter, 93, in on the hands. And now, with an open first base here and a runner at second, there's no reason for Kershaw to come in the strike zone. And with his stuff, I mean, he's got some of the best stuff that appears to be going in the strike zone and then disappears down below or off to the side of the strike zone, or even go above it. And that may be why Ellis went out there, to find out which way he wanted to go. Do you want to go down the dirt, or do you want to go up above the letters? If you see anything in the strike zone here, it's a mistake.
A lot of times Kershaw will save that changeup. He doesn't throw a lot of them, but he'll save them for spots like this. We'll see. Posey topped one foul.
Get a cutter at 87, just a little bit slower than the cutter he saw before. And this is an example of the type of touch that he has, where he can vary the speeds of all of his pitches. And what is hitting? It's timing. And what is pitching? It's upsetting the timing of the hitter.
Another 2-2. Posey strikes out swinging.
And there's that changeup you're talking about. He saves it, put it off the plate away. And there's the strikeout he was pitching for.
Really, sometimes he'll throw it maybe 5 times in a start, just not very often, but he picks his spots well.
Through 8 starts the last 4 years, and you can see the big glaring difference in 2015 is the ERA at 4.24. Opponents hitting him at a pace that he's never experienced before early in the season at 251.
And the Dodgers they're not concerned. It's still early. But it's just not quite been the usual Kershaw so far. Not quite.
Well, he can lock into a groove. And the thing about Kershaw that is so amazing is that he can maintain it. And he can go 3 months without having a bad start.
That counts as a groove, doesn't it?
Well, there you go. Last season, first 6, 3-2 with a 3.57. Then the last 21, 18-1 with a 1.38. And then that won the Cy Young Award for him again.
Pence pops one foul. 1 ball, 1 strike to Pence. Pence is sort of the Superman for Giants fans. This guy's his kryptonite, because he just. You would figure Pence would have some success. A left-handed pitcher, he's seen a lot.
Well, you'd think at 55 at bats he would have guessed right a few times.
He is certainly overdue. He drives that one into right field. That's a base hit. Pagan to third, and they're going to send him. After a hesitation, the throw, the slide, he's safe. Van Slyke made a pretty good throw. Pagan, I thought, started to slow down and then kicked it into gear. The Giants ahead 2-0, and I'm sure the Dodgers are going to take a look.
Now they're asking Ellis, did you get him? And I don't think Ellis is saying that he did. You're right about Van Slyke. He's got an outstanding arm. Ellis never touched him.
He missed him. What a great slide.
Boy, I'll say, I thought he was going to be hung out, and only the creativity of Pagan around the plate with the slide allowed him to score. And you're going to see just how he missed it, never touched him.
Yep, he didn't get him.
Scott Berry, a great look at it right there. Look at the positioning that Berry gives himself.
They're going to challenge anyway, and you can understand why they would. It's the 4th inning. Use your challenge, a very, very important play.
If he got him with the leather strip on his glove.
Yeah. Well, they are going to review this one. The replay review presented by Xfinity. So they'll talk to the umpires in New York. I think you're right, though. Scott Berry made an excellent call. Right as it happened, you did not see protest from A.J. Ellis. I think he knew he missed him.
But interesting, as you're looking at this thing, they're going to say, well, wait a second. The leather strips, they're pieces of leather on the glove. And then you say, well, did they hit him? Because if they did, those leather pieces are part of the glove.
I'm not sure we would have ever seen that in the history of the big leagues. Yeah, those little strips of leather. Yeah, you're out. That standard, though, where you have to see evidence to overturn the call that's indisputable. And I don't think that evidence is there, personally.
Well, I'd be very surprised if they overturned it. Very surprised.
Tremendous slide by Pagan.
Now that's body control at high speed too, and that's pretty impressive.
Well, we're going to get the ruling now. He is safe. So the run counts, and Hunter Pence, it had to happen at some point.
Hey, you know what, though? If I'm a catcher, I'm going to have like 18-inch pieces of leather hanging from my glove.
You can complicate things a little bit. Dodgers lose their challenge. Call stands. And the Giants have a 2-0 lead against Kershaw. Chance to sweep L.A. Here's Arias. Ground ball. Not an easy play. Turner all the way across for out number 2. Pence moves into scoring position.
I know there's an equipment restriction about leather hanging from your glove, and I'm not sure what it is, but it does propose a very interesting scenario.
Yeah, I mean, let's just say you could clearly tell that those little strips of leather actually hit Pagan before he touched home plate. That just doesn't seem right. Here's Belt taking low.
Because those are long strips of leather.
1-0 to Belt. Belt hit the ball pretty hard his first time up. He's had almost no success against Kershaw. Strike 1 off the foul ball.
He had a good at bat his first at bat, though.
He did. He very much did. Jumped on a fastball and drove it to deep center field. Hit it hard. Chance for a hit to add to the lead. You got Pence and his excellent speed in scoring position. 2-0 Giants. Kershaw, and he hit him. And Belt is hurting. Every time you see that, with Belt's history of getting hit by pitches and breaking bones, it concerns you. And Dave Gresher out in a hurry. See where it got him.
Oh, he's coming right into it.
Ow.
I don't think that's one that would cause a break, though, but that's easy for me to say. And the reason I say that is that he's not throwing his hands into the ball like we saw with Hunter Pence when he got his arm broken in spring training. He was actually moving his swing and throwing his arm into the oncoming ball. This one looked to me like it was glancing, and he was trying to get it. His arm was going the same direction as the ball.
Well, it is still good news that they're letting him stay in the game. I think the Giants dodged a bullet there.
Kershaw saying, my bad. It's the last thing he wanted to do there.
Well, now Casey McGee up, and a right-handed hitter with a chance to knock in that run or more. That's a strike off the little foul tip.
Well, if you're Casey McGee, I mean, you want at bats like this. I mean, you're still trying to win the hometown crowd because of a slow start. Here you have an opportunity to knock in a run against a pitcher like Clayton Kershaw, against your rival. This is a perfect opportunity.
Oh, 1. McGee, a big swing, strike 2.
Off speed down below the strike zone.
Pagan slide to get that extra run across. Huge play here in the 4th. Two on, two out. 2-strike pitch. McGee took that fastball.
Yeah, it's just to clean the palate right there. I think he wants to burn him on his back foot off the plate in with a breaking ball. So you throw a fastball away, perhaps get a little lean in his body, just to let his eye see it. Now you come inside.
He did just barely get a piece of that curveball.
Yeah, he just scraped a little red fuzz on the seam.
That's it. It counts. Even he, a little smile, I think, maybe.
How much did he get? Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it got more of A.J. Ellis's arm than it did the bat.
He swings and misses, and you could see that one coming from Kershaw. But the Giants add a run to their lead. Pence with the hit, and a tremendous play by Pagan. Avoid the tag, touch home plate, 2-0 Giants.
Nothing lead. Welcome back to the game. Good news on Jake Peavy. We have reported he's going to start for the San Jose Giants tomorrow. He is slated to only throw 50 pitches. If he comes out of that well, gentlemen, he'll move on to Sacramento. Well, he'll start for the River Cats on Wednesday. So while the Giants go on the road trip, one Giant will stay in the Bay Area, and fans might get a chance to see him. Dave, Mike?
Well, that team in Sacramento, thanks, Amy, has featured some. Hunter Pence was there for a few games. Travis Ishikawa has been there. Chris Heston was with the Sacramento team before getting the call up. Jock Peterson with a big swing and miss against Bumgarner. I think it's part of the cool factor of having your minor league affiliates close to the big league team where your fans are.
Oh, it's happening up there. I know a lot of friends of mine are season ticket holders up there for the River Cats, and they say it's a scene. They're having a ball. And it's so good to see Peavy getting his health back because they need him. You know, I want to finish up that discussion about the mitt that A.J. Ellis has with the long leather strips hanging from his glove. So we went to the rule book, and we'll read this. And basically, he's in violation with the length of the leather strips he has on his glove.
Peterson takes ball 2.
A catcher may wear a leather mitt not more than 38 inches in circumference, nor more than 15½ inches from top to bottom. And if you have any leather lacing or any band of leather that is attached to the mitt, it cannot exceed the length of that mitt, the 15½ inches. And those leather strips did indeed extend the length of the glove basically beyond the 15½, so it's in violation.
Well, and we saw a quick shot there of Posey's mitt, and it looks to me like his laces are sort of trimmed up and are not that way. just as a contrast.
So even if the lacing had touched the runner, he would not have been out.
Here's a little tapper foul.
And you see the strips of leather here. I mean, those are long pieces right there, and he's got them several other places on his glove.
Arrest that glove. It's illegal.
In violation.
Against the law. That's a law-abiding glove right there.
There you go.
2-2. Swing and a miss. He got Peterson. 1 out. Well, it's that time of year, and we've been talking about it. Hey, cool look there. The grad pack almost sold out. Perfect gift for a graduate this spring. You get a couple tickets to a ticket to 2 Giants games plus class of 2015 Giants cap. Packs start as low as $45. sfgiants.com/mini pack, the place to go before it's too late. Big curveball, and Hernandez takes strike 1. That one in there, strike 2.
And he's finally got his curveball. He's 77 pitches into it, and he's finally got a feel with the curveball. And curveballs can do that. That's why sliders are a little more user friendly.
Check swing, no swing.
You don't give up on a curveball. I mean, you just keep coming back to it, hoping at some point in the game you do get it. And it looks to me like Kershaw's finally got it back, or Bumgarner rather.
2-0 Giants, 1 out with Kendrick on deck. Hernandez 1 for 2, and he checks his swing. Again, no swing.
Ted Barrett, I mean, he's missed a couple. Let's take a look and see. Did he go? That's 50-50.
Yeah, what was it Van Slyke who had one earlier that to me was just a pure swing?
Yeah, it was well beyond that last swing.
Backdoor, no. Cutter misses. So full count, 3-2.
And Scott Berry just tapped his chest, and he let Bumgarner know that he missed one. A little breaking ball. It would have been a pitcher strike.
Full count, 3-2. Hernandez, foul ball.
Sometimes it's so difficult to remove your mind from a previous pitch when you get upset by it, not getting it from the umpire. But it's so important that when you're about to throw the next pitch that you completely commit to it mentally. Otherwise, you will not finish it.
Full count, 3-2. That one on the ground to short. Arias throws out Hernandez, who's got pretty good speed. 2 down. Hey, by the way, we saw that shot of the giant ship passing by in San Francisco Bay. I don't know if it's beyond our view now. It's sort of behind the video scoreboard. There it is. We've been thinking about John Miller, our friend, all day, whose dad passed away. I'm sure you guys were talking about it. We were corresponding with John this morning, and John passed along a message from Tom Miller, no relation, the harbor pilot who takes those ships out, and he told us that he'd be bringing that big ship past the ballpark, was going to try to sound the whistle for us today. It's a car carrier, 600 feet long.
Wow. The Pasha, Hawaii?
Yeah. So John passed that along from Tom Miller, who's out there steering it through the bay. Another reason we're thinking about John today. There it is.
The Jean Ann.
Great shot. Tom also said, unlike some of those giant cruise ships, he said this one pretty easy. Not much difficulty to steering that one through.
Well, that's something I didn't know till we got to this ballpark, that there's a separate captain who brings ships into the bay and takes them out of the bay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, you have to be so precise that it takes like a true expert to navigate through the bay. Kendrick, base hit. A 2-out single for him. There you go. Great shot. one of many, many reasons we love being in this ballpark. Get to see the baseball and a whole lot more.
Yeah. Their deck truly a view level.
Yeah. Well, Adrian Gonzalez, possible tying run. He's got plenty of power here in the 5th. And against the shift, past the dive of Duffy. Kendrick is going to go around to third, and Pence just wants to make sure that Gonzalez stays at first. So the Dodgers with a little 2-out rally here. First and third, 2 down for Justin Turner. And one thing, Mike, about Bumgarner, he has not given up a run. He's pitching well. But look at that pitch count. We're still in the 5th inning. He's up to 87 pitches thrown.
That's a lot. 23 in the first, 40 through the first 2, and 30 through the next 2. I mean, that's you start to add up. He hadn't really had. Well, I guess he had the 111 pitch inning, but everything else has exceeded the 15 pitch per inning limit that is considered the norm.
Strike one. Good pitch right on the inside to Turner. This is a dangerous guy in this spot.
And we talk about the success he's had against Bumgarner. I mean, he's got 2 home runs. Both came in the same game against him. So you know he sees him.
He hit the ball last time up that Pagan had to make a leaping catch at the wall. Tried that curveball, missed outside. You have to give the Dodgers hitters some credit here today. They have made it tough on Bumgarner. Just haven't gotten a run through yet. Turner, good swing, foul ball.
And that's the best velocity fastball we've seen Bumgarner have. That's 94. Dodgers had been shut out one time all year coming into the series, and the Giants, the first 2 games of this series, have pitch shutouts.
One, 2. Tried to get Turner to chase. He wouldn't do it.
Easy take. Just a little too high. That's where that elevator fastball above the letters, it's got to be so precise. I mean, if it's too high, it's an easy take. If it's too low, it's hittable.
Turner battling. Bumgarner steps off. Kendrick, who had a 2-out single, he's the runner at third. Gonzalez followed up that hit with a single. He's at first. Two-two. Just inside. Again at 94.
He's got an open base, so he doesn't have to just groove one here on a challenge. He could stay to a corner. He could make a pretty good location pitch. Not a bad idea for a guy who squared you up pretty well earlier in the game.
Three-two. Turner fouls one off. One thing about the full count 2-out situation, Gonzalez does not have great speed at all at first base, but he does get the head start. So if Turner were to get one in the gap, extra base hit, that would give Gonzalez a much easier time trying to tie this game. Outfield is deep. They would like to cut anything off, try to keep that from happening. Three-two. Turner, did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3, swinging. Well, Bumgarner gets it done on the mound. He's coming up when we come back. He's already done that today against Kershaw. 2-0 Giants. Orange Friday happy hour of the year presented by Lagunitas Brewing Company. There is a special event package, a ticket to the game, Giants Braves, access to the pregame happy hour featuring live music and entertainment. The band Mustache Harbor seems fitting, and a complimentary Lagunitas beer or soft drink. For tickets, sfgiants.com/special events when we come back after this road trip to Colorado and Milwaukee. Bumgarner trying to do it again. He's already homered in this game.
Well, he's not going to see a first pitch fastball challenge.
No.
A little breaking ball there to get strike one for Kershaw.
First home run of the year. First home run ever given up by Kershaw against a pitcher, and he throws him a curve.
And a curveball.
He may never see a fastball from Kershaw again. it's the ultimate respect. The 0-2. Strike three call. Well, he did throw a fastball. He struck him out with it.
Good one.
It's a real good one.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. But in the third inning, first pitch, this is what he did in his last at bat. It's his first home run of the year, 7th career home run, and it put the Giants on the board.
You know, and you and I were talking about it earlier. Because this rivalry, it's more than just when they meet head to head. It's okay, who's the best pitcher in the National League? And Kershaw's definitely been the best regular season pitcher. He's got the hardware to show for it. He's got Cy Youngs. He's got an MVP. He's been amazing in the dirt. But Kershaw in the playoffs has not been as good. And not just last year, but especially the contrast with these two last year, where Kershaw got beat up twice by the Cardinals. And it was a main reason the Dodgers didn't advance. And then Bumgarner beats the Cardinals, dominates the Royals, rides off into history.
Yeah, and you could add Nationals and Pirates to those.
Yeah, you could.
Teams that he dominated.
Yes, you could. But especially that direct head-to-head. Okay, Kershaw couldn't get it done against St. Louis. They were eliminated. 2 times he had a lead late in games, couldn't hold on. Aoki takes the walk.
Nice at bat.
Very nice. And these two have been the best left-handers in the big leagues in terms of wins, and not just wins, but by many measures. David Price is a real good one.
Pretty good 5 pitchers right there.
Yeah.
You could take that rotation into the postseason and do quite well.
But it's just a fascinating rivalry, not just teams, but these two aces. Duffy takes low.
See the slide step from Kershaw for a big man, and he's 6'4". Very quick to home. Not an easy guy to steal off of, and he's about the time you think you get a good jump, he can pick you off.
It's one reason everybody admires him so much. He fields his position, he swings the bat, he holds runners.
Yeah, he's the whole package.
And Bumgarner does all that. Two guys are really good all-around players. Aoki leads the Giants with 10 steals, so you know the Dodgers are paying attention to him.
Well, it's the perfect time to try and steal a bag. If you could get there, but it's not easy. I mean, you have to get a good jump, which is not easy to do, and Ellis is a good thrower behind the plate.
Duffy's 0 for 2. Takes that one high and tight.
We do have another chapter to the story about the gloves and the laces. Ed Montague, former big league umpire for many, many years, is here at the ballpark today, and he helps the umpires who come in, especially the young ones. And he said that there's a new rule this year, and you can have lace on your glove that is no longer than 2 inches, and you have to snip it if it is beyond 2 inches.
Duffy to right field, well hit. Van Slyke will make the catch. Nice play. Aoki goes back to first.
Everything about that was the big leagues. It was a nice at bat from Duffy. He put that ball on the right side. I mean, he was thinking right side. The ball's got sliced going away from Van Slyke, who gets a good jump. I mean, another guy who's 6'4", and some tall guys in this series that really showed nice quickness for their size, and Van Slyke showing it here. Good play.
And a nod to the Dodgers outfield positioning, because a lot of times the right fielder is so far off the line there's no chance to get there and make a play. But Van Slyke was playing a little closer. Fastball to Pagan, strike one. Pagan doubled in the fourth to lead off the inning and scored on the Pence base hit. That made it 2-0. Still a spot where if he could get a jump, it'd be a good place for Aoki to try to steal his way into scoring position.
Not easy to hit a ball through the gaps. Jock Peterson, the center fielder for the Dodgers, he's got great range.
Aoki's been on base all 3 times. Impressive.
It is. 2 hits and a walk. And for a left-handed hitter against Kershaw, that's a good day. It's a good day against anybody, but especially Kershaw.
Out of play. 0-2. You know, Bochy was talking to us before the game about having Aoki in there. And he sort of kiddingly said, well, maybe Aoki can foul off about 20 pitches and we can get Kershaw out an inning earlier. But I think he did point out that last time Aoki faced Kershaw, he didn't get a hit against him, but the at-bats were long. He seemed to be seeing the ball pretty well. That little different pickoff throw from Kershaw. But it was sort of a hunch from Bochy that, hey, I think Aoki, he sees the ball well out of the hands of Kershaw. I think he's got a chance.
Well, and Justin Maxwell, the other consideration, was 0 for 15 lifetime against Kershaw. So you really didn't have much to lose if you're Bochy.
0-2. Did he go? This time Ted Barrett says yes. Strike 3 swinging. So a Walker runner stranded onto the 6th. 2-0 Giants.
Area.com, as insider Alex Pavlovich will provide wire-to-wire reporting on this Giants season. You get breaking news, video, special features, and much, much more only on CSNBayArea.com. There's Alex.
I'm a fan of Alex.
You're not going to outwork Alex Pavlovich.
He does a very nice job covering this team. Giants do give him a lot of good material. There's no shortage of intrigue, stories, characters.
He's trusted.
Van Slyke, first pitch swinging. And a good pitch. That curveball fooled him. Arias throws him out.
And that's what Bumgarner needs. He needs first pitch outs. I mean, as a writer, it's the best compliment you can be given when a coach or a manager or a general manager or a player trusts you. And Alex Pavlovich is a trusted reporter.
Well, there are times for all of us who cover a big league team, any professional team, where if you're around the team, around the players. Alex Guerrero swings and lines one into left field. Aoki trying to hold him to a single, and he will. Nice play by Norichika Aoki.
That is a nice play. Nice play because you want to keep that force in order with A.J. Ellis coming in there because he's a double play candidate.
Yep.
And he got this ball very quickly, put himself in a good position, got himself square to his target, and just by that alone froze Guerrero when he surrounded first base. Aoki does not have a particularly strong arm, but he's got a very quick release and he's accurate.
Yep. So just get rid of it quickly, throw to the right spot, and in a spot like that, it works. Ellis takes low, ball one. Just to finish the thought, you're around a big league team like we are day after day after day. You get access to stuff that you wouldn't have otherwise, and sometimes stuff that you can't talk about right away. And that is part of building up trust, where whether you hear information one way or another, sort of having that sense of what's fair game and what should still be kept private. A.J. Ellis out in front there, hit it hard but foul.
And I mean, the privacy the players have in this generation completely different to what it was years ago. When now reporters can walk out the clubhouse into the hallway just outside the Giants clubhouse, and they can get on and tweet something, and boom, it's gone. It's out there. So I think players of this generation have less privacy.
Up and away, ball two.
Next pitch for Bumgarner will be 100.
And that's why Lopez and Cantos are both getting ready. Well, Kershaw's only thrown 65 pitches. His spot is coming up next, and they're not going to pull him out of the game. You would not think.
They're not.
Ellis, and that'll be a hit. Aoki cuts this one off. Guerrero this time is going to go toward third, and they got him.
Wow.
Aoki to Arias to McGee, 2 down.
That is an incredible mistake from Guerrero. I mean, a nice bat from Ellis. And here Aoki with that quick release again, right to Arias, who anticipates a lead bag, quick throw, and McGee with a great tag. And this is just something that cannot happen when you're down 2 runs. You've got the pitcher coming up. They're going to bunt. They would have bunted Kershaw, and they would have set it up for Jock Peterson. But here you run yourself out of an inning, basically being over-aggressive.
Strike one to Kershaw, and we should point out they got the call right, but the Dodgers don't have a challenge. They tried, and it wasn't successful. So even if they had wanted to look at that one, and the call was correct, the Dodgers couldn't do it. Just a little side note, Kershaw takes a ball.
I mean, I know Kershaw is a pretty good hitter. He's only got 1 hit on the year. I don't know if it was a guarantee that with the first and third situation that they would have bunted him, but they could have. So really the risk for Guerrero to go from second to third was not worth the reward.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think that runner almost always assumes, hey, they want to keep the double play in order. They want to throw to second, so they're not going to throw to third. But the way you describe it, it's a different scenario than that. That's just not the case here. You got to be sure.
And I know Aoki knows that Ellis, the guy that hit the ball, is not a fast runner.
Yep.
So that allowed him to be a little more aggressive to the third base bag. Anyway, just a poor decision from Guerrero, and he paid for it.
And the Giants executed to get him out. It feels like this is it for Bumgarner, whether it's this hitter or not, but this feels like his last inning. 1-2, He struck out Kershaw. And with some help from his defense, particularly that guy, Aoki. The relay to Arias, on to McGee, a huge out in a scoreless inning. Giants lead 2-0.
By Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Well, Dave Fleming, Mike Krukow back here in beautiful San Francisco. Madison Bumgarner, he's not automatically coming out of this game. That arm's going to stay wrapped. He and Dave Righetti had a conversation. The quick outs with the help from his defense and a base running mistake from the Dodgers. And I think it's earned Bumgarner at least a chance to start the 7th inning on the mound. 105 pitches through 6, scoreless against L.A.
I don't know that they're going to let him get back in the stretch, but I do believe he's going to get back out there.
Yeah, so it could be a one base runner, and he would be out of the game scenario. But we'll see if the Giants can add on. They lead 2-0. Posey at the plate. He takes a big, slow curveball, strike one.
Such a great way to steal strike one, too. Nobody's going to go up there looking that first pitch against Kershaw.
He tries another curve. This time he bounced it.
By design.
Posey would not swing. Buster 0 for 2. Has hit a couple career home runs against the Dodgers ace. Outside, 2-1. A run in the third, one more in the fourth. Swing and a miss. That's that changeup, I think.
That's a good one.
It is.
Now there's John Tyler, who used to be with the Giants organization, but is now one of San Francisco's finest. Working with the police department. Good to see him back at the yard.
Buster pulls one foul. Posey, that home run last night in the fog, in the cold, almost 430 feet.
Yeah, on a night with no carry at all. I mean, he really crushed it. Deepest part of the yard.
He flares this one, and Gonzalez will catch it.
Deepest part of the yard to left center. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Pence comes up, one out. This is the home run we were talking about from last night on such a cool night with the fog, but it made it tough to do this.
Yeah, a little mistake to location from Yimi Garcia, but Garcia throws hard, and he's going to supply some of the power. But that was a huge swing of the bat.
Strike one to Hunter Pence. Pence has got to feel good. Had a base hit to not get a run. Kershaw just has been his worst enemy. 1-1 after the curveball misses.
Well, and the way he beat him was going to right field, and that may be what he has to do. Did not miss much.
You know, one thing you've talked about, Mike, here in these last few days, Giants got the bats going on the road trip in two very good hitters' parks, and now here we go back on the road again after today's game to Coors and to Milwaukee. There is strike two. And I think, you know, having Pence back in those offensive yards, that's huge.
Oh, no doubt. And this Giants lineup has the most confidence that they've had collectively up and down.
Strike three called with the fastball for out number two.
So they're taking the most confidence that they've had collectively into these ballparks, and you know, they expect to score runs.
They do. But it's just, we've been saying this for years. It's hard to evaluate the Giants offense because when you play your home games in this park, the numbers just aren't going to look robust. They aren't. But when the Giants go on the road, the offense produces like one of the best offenses in the league. And this year that hasn't always been the case. But now that they're healthier, it's much more so. Arias to Turner, out number three. Kipes coming back over to join Mike here on the TV side. Bumgarner back to the mound. 2-0 Giants.
Your local Toyota dealer. As advertised, it has been a pitching duel between Bumgarner and Kershaw. Dodgers no runs on 7 hits, no errors. The Giants 2 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. The big blow of the bat, Bumgarner, a home run in the third. And Pence, an RBI single in the fourth, and that is where we are. That is our Toyota game summary. 2-0 Giants. Top of the seventh here again, Dwayne Kuiper.
All right, here's the pitch to Peterson in a swing and a miss. I love the shots you had of the container from Hawaii, just pulling out, and then shots of John Tyler. I was over there just amazed at all the good work Comcast was doing. Swinging a high pop-up. See where this one comes down. Belt over by the dugout, and Belt's going to make the catch. That's a big league pop-up right there, folks. And Bruce Bochy's coming out.
That's going to be it for Bumgarner.
And he's going to get a great ovation as he departs.
So it was the pitch count that's going to get him out of the ball game. 6 1/3 shutout innings.
So the walk-off for Madison Bumgarner. He deserves it. We'll be back.
New pitcher now for the Giants will be the right-hander, George Cantos, who's really enjoying a strong first half. 19th time he's come in, 1-0 with a 1.25 ERA. And he will face Kike Hernandez. Right-hander's hitting 200, lefty's hitting 174.
Here's Hernandez. And he takes down low for Cantos. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and repair experts.
The line for Bumgarner, strong day.
I'm telling you, man, hitters now just, they all swing hard.
That's it. Why worry about a 2-strike adjustment? It's not any fun.
Yeah, I mean, you can strike out now 140 times. And
not a problem.
Nobody cares. The 1-1 coming up to Hernandez. Well, that was a hanger, so it's 1-2.
You're supposed to hit that one.
I mean, you're supposed to swing hard at those.
If you look at Kike Hernandez's career, I mean, his minor league years, I mean, he hit 273 in 6 years. The big league level coming into this season, he was a 248 hitter. Now he comes into this at bat hitting 290. So he's had a nice first half. Got a little pop in his bat. One year he had 13 home runs in the minor leagues. But he's swinging for him.
Out of play. So did you roast John Tyler?
We did. In a very positive way. It's hard to take a shot at a member of the SFPD, even if he was a former employee here with the Giants. But he's undercover today.
Yeah, I was saying over on the radio side, here's the 1-2 foul back, that all the years that we saw John Tyler, we saw him every day during the season, probably for 15 years. Not one time did I ever look at John Tyler and say, boy, does he look like a cop. Now he goes to cop school, he takes those cop classes, he looks like a cop.
Well, he is.
Here's the 1-2, and it's low and in. 2-2. And he also looks like Jeff Kent, where you couldn't talk him out of a ticket.
No chance.
Yeah, John, we're talking about you.
It's good to see him at the yard again.
Yeah, it's just good to see him, period. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball to Arias. Arias has got it, and he throws him out.
So a nice battle there, won by George Cantos. As Hernandez was quite feisty in that at bat.
So here's Howie Kendrick. Kendrick 1 for 3, singled off of Bumgarner in the 5th. And Cantos, right off the bat, goes 0-1. High, 1 ball and 1 strike.
The whole demeanor of George Cantos has changed this year, and it has everything to do with his confidence, and it has everything to do with his ability to put 5 different types of movement on the baseball. Before, early in his career, he could only put on 2. Before, it was a 4-seam fastball and a slider, and he didn't really trust the fastball. But now he can put 2 different types of movement on the fastball. He's got a changeup. He's got a nice little cutter. And he's even starting to throw curveballs now, which we've never seen before. Used to be a starter when he came up with the Yankee organization. But really, with the encouragement of Mark Gardner, the bullpen coach, and Dave Righetti, I mean, he's starting to use these pitches, and it's made all the difference in the world.
2-2.
Because now he's on top of hitters. It's 0-2, 1-2. He's never really backed into a situation where he has to give in to what a hitter is looking for.
So now Cantos goes the distance. It's 3-2 to Kendrick.
Now, real simple. If Kendrick gets on, you're going to see Javier Lopez coming in to face Adrian Gonzalez.
That'll be a souvenir down the right field line, and we'll do it again. Romo now joins Lopez.
Dodgers only have 4 extra men on the bench, and today, for the first time in this series, they have a left-hander on the bench. In fact, they really have 3. 2 switch hitters and Andre Ethier.
Tap slowly. It's going to trickle foul. Cantos tried to get to it before it went foul. He could not.
Previous 2 games, Don Mattingly's 4 benchmen were all right-handed. Not the case today. He's got Esmani Grandal and Jimmy Rollins, both switch hitters, and as we mentioned, Ethier.
Three and 2 to Kendrick. Foul back again.
Good slider. And a good fight him off there by Kendrick. Gamer babes are here.
Yes, they are. And they're sporting some attitude. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. No idea what Duffy was doing, but that's a base hit for Kendrick.
Well, he broke completely opposite of the ball. Now watch Duffy break to his right. I mean, that's a ball that if he breaks to his left, he's going to probably catch. He could not have seen it.
Oh, goodness. You're right. So, Lopez is coming in. At bat, the #1 app for live baseball. You get in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews. You get some stuff you didn't even know you're going to get. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet.
So Javier Lopez comes in. 20th time that he's come in, and he will face an old adversary. Take a look at the numbers. Oh, no record with a 1.74 ERA. Lefty's hitting .095.
And Gonzalez takes a hack at the first pitch.
I may be wrong, but I think Gonzalez may have got up on the plate a little bit closer against Javier Lopez.
Would not surprise me. Swing.
Took a little off. Lopez faced Gonzalez in last night's ball game. Got him to ground out to shortstop.
He's pitched in every game in this series. Down low. Lopez to Gonzalez. Bouncing ball. Arias right there. Step on the bag. Side retired. Bottom of the 7th coming up. think. And Kershaw will be facing Belt, McGee, and Bumgarner. So here's Belt. Belt 0 for 1. Belt was hit by a pitch in the 4th. And he swings and misses, and it's 0 and 1. Belt waves at the next pitch, and he taps it foul.
Go back to the 4th inning in an at-bat where Kershaw hit Brandon Belt, looked like on the wrist, the top of the wrist, and everybody held their breath while Dave Greshner came out and took a look at it.
Blocked. One and 2 to Belt. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss.
Oh.
All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy.
All right, guys, on May 30th is the annual Junior Giants Glove Drive. We want everybody to help participate. This is amazing. 12,000 kids that participate in Junior Giants do not own their own glove, and we can change that one kid at a time with a $10 donation. So on May 30th, come to the game, come to AT&T Park with a glove or $10, and you will get a Madison Bumgarner MVP pen or a 2014 World Championship pen. If you can't come to the game, don't worry about it. Visit jrgiants.org and you can donate $10 online. $10 for a glove. I think we can do this. All 12,000 of the kids, guys.
That's right. jrgiants.org. It's an annual deal, and every year Giants fans come through. It's terrific.
Well, and every year you have new kids coming in the Junior Giant program. You have kids who graduate out of it because of age, and this is the kids who really can't afford to buy their own gloves.
It's pretty amazing when you talk to the people that hand out the gloves. They will tell you that here's Maxwell, and he takes low. He goes around, however, on the swing. That the response from the kids is almost universal. They will ask the same thing. You mean we can keep it? Yes, you can. You can go home with it. It's yours. There's only one rule. Play catch. Use it.
Use it.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, over 20,000 children now, and it goes way up north, all the way down to San Luis Obispo, and way east. And it's just a great thing to watch these kids play.
Well, you're out of San Luis Obispo now. I'm wondering, have the Giants made any inroads into capturing that town for Giants fans?
Oh, are you kidding?
Or is it?
Well, it traditionally has been Dodger country. I mean, that's the way that they used to section off the broadcast. You got Dodger broadcast and not Giants broadcast. But San Luis Obispo, with the success that this team has had the last 5 years, Giants hats everywhere. And a lot of the kids who come to Cal Poly from the Bay Area or from the Valley, I mean, they're Giants fans, so they bring their colors with them.
3-1 pitch to Maxwell, and he walked him. Well, I've given you credit for that.
I've converted 1 or 2.
And you were there, how many, 20 years?
25.
So you had 25 years of work, at least on your street, and I think you got over half of them. It's amazing what tickets will do.
Yeah, it is amazing. You see the shift on Aoki. They're playing him as if he's a right-handed pull hitter in the outfield. But they are giving him the line at third base, and I think that's a bit unusual.
Aoki slaps it foul. He does that a lot.
But the Dodgers have a history of Aoki, every swing he's ever taken against him and every swing he's ever taken against Kershaw. And you start to develop patterns as a hitter as to where you hit the ball. And because of that, they have Justin Turner, the third baseman, way off the line. Guy brought his glove. That a bit. got rewarded. Hatcher, the right-hander. Chris Hatcher heading down.
On 1 pitch, Aoki shortens up to bunt, and he takes a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Slaps this on the ground. Kendrick throws him out by a step and a half, and that'll end the inning. So that completes this game through 7. We will head to the 8th. Romo's coming in. The Rockies pregame live will start at 4:30. We'll have the first pitch right at the top of the hour. The Giants hit the road to Colorado for 4 games, and you can see them all by watching us. It's a 2-0 lead for the Giants. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and repair experts.
So on to the 8th inning, and that means Sergio Romo time. It's the 19th time that he has come in. 0-2 with a 3.55 ERA. 15 base runners and 12 2/3, and 20 strikeouts.
Turner goes around, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Turner perplexed.
He is not enthusiastic. Let's take a look. Did he go?
Maybe.
It's the 50-50 zone right there.
Maybe.
Half you get, half you don't get.
No balls and 1 strike. Turner takes low. We were talking about the Junior Giants glove drive. Today when I walked in, I saw Sue Peterson. She is the woman in charge of the fund, the community fund. She's fabulous. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Turner. So I'm going to pop up out of play, but she was waiting for Amy G. Amy G and her publisher, I want to get his name right, Chris Gruner, Gruener. Well, Amy G and Chris presented a check to the Giants Community Fund for $3,600, which were part of the proceeds for Amy's book, Smarty Marty. So, way to go, Amy. You're the best.
Atta babe, Amer the gamer.
Turner takes strike 3 call.
No dot slider, locks him up. Take a look at 2-strike. It's just not the normal tip that you see with the spin of the ball and the late hard break that it has, which makes it quite unique. Locks up Turner. It's not easy to do. By the way, Brandon Crawford has come in the game at shortstop.
If you're a really terrific defensive player, it's pretty simple. There are no full days off. Rollins takes a strike. You're going to find the field at some point. Rollins on the ground up the middle. Duffy dives. Duffy can't get rid of it. Rollins is aboard.
Well, even if he comes up clean with this, I don't think because he's on his knees he's going to be able to get enough throw on the ball to get Rollins, who runs well.
That would be correct.
And as he rolls his glove over and tries the exchange, whoop, could not get a handle.
So here's Guerrero. Guerrero is 1 for 3. Those at bats against Madison Bumgarner. And he takes a strike.
Pitcher strike. Great look at what will be a low 3/4, almost a sidearm delivery from Romo. And if he throws a breaking ball, you can see just how quick the snap on it is.
No balls and a strike. Swing and a miss, 0-2. And 2 to Guerrero.
Playing him straight away. That's as straight as you're going to see a whole defense play anybody.
One and 2.
So he's tried to stretch him out, throwing that breaking ball off the plate away. Pretty easy take there. It's when you take a little walk because you're mad at yourself. You didn't make it a little more inviting.
One ball, 2 strikes. And a soft toss.
Jeremy Affeldt is now heading down to the Giants bullpen.
One and 2. Pulled on the ground, foul.
One thing we found out here in this series, though, the Giants have consistently pitched Guerrero away, and he will lean out there. I mean, I just don't think he has a fear of the inside corner right now because they've been so consistent to the outside corner. So he's cheating. So when you're heading to count 1-2, what that means to Romo is just keep breaking it out a little bit wider. Because if he's going to cheat and look away, he'll swing at stuff off the plate away.
Hit on the ground to Duffy. Duffy to Crawford. Crawford the belt. Double play. Four, 6-3. We will head to the bottom of the ninth. Take a look. Romo digging it. It's 2-0 Giants. You get highlights, you get reactions to this game, and you get analysis. It's all coming up right after the game. 2-0 Giants. Duffy will lead it off. Duffy, Pagan, Posey against Clayton Kershaw, who's thrown 91 pitches. And Duffy shoots this one up the middle, kicks off the mound right to Kendrick. 1 out. Rollins is into the game at short after he pinch hit. And Hernandez moves from short to right field as Van Slyke is history. Pagan's had a big hit in this game. He opened up the fourth with a double and eventually scored. Little flare, center field, base hit.
And that may be the swing of the bat that gets Kershaw out of the ball game.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, Sportsnet Central, Warriors Playoff Central with live Warriors pregame coverage is coming up next and airing right now on Comcast Sportsnet Plus, which can be found on Comcast channels 104 and 780. DirecTV 696 and -1. Check out the Warriors tonight. Game 2 coverage begins at 5 o'clock. So go Warriors.
Here's Buster Posey. Buster Posey's 0 for 3. With Pence to follow. It's all going to happen right there.
Rocking at the Oracle tonight.
I would say that this might be a busy day at Finnerty's. What do you think?
Oh, Finnerty's in New York? Are you kidding? Those bar stools will be filled up for a long time.
There might be 20 people that were not going to move for 12 hours. Posey takes a strike on the outside corner.
Dodgers had Chris Hatcher really pumping hard down in the bullpen. See him on your left. Adam Liberatore, the left-hander, has joined him. But Don Mattingly thought on it and said, you know what? I'm leaving Kershaw in there to face Posey. So if you're Posey? Is that like an additional challenge?
Well, I think he's probably thinking right now. He's got his hands full. Two balls and one strike. Say this about Kershaw. His stuff is really consistent. Like, how about good in the first, good stuff in the eighth?
Well, he brought his A game into this one. I mean, he's pitched well.
Well, he needs to make a pitch here. Russell can sit on anything he wants right now.
Well, he's been cutting hard fastballs in on him, and he's been throwing soft stuff away. So if you look in, you look hard. If you look away, you look soft.
Runner goes, swinging a dribbler, foul.
With the breaking ball that Kershaw has, I mean, you have to manage your game if you're Bruce Bochy as if he's a sinker baller, because he gets so many ground balls hit off that big curveball, especially from right-handers. Which is why Pagan was running 3-1, and if he runs 3-1, he's going to run 3-2. But you have to make sure Kershaw's going home. Don't get picked off.
Posey, left center field. That's a base hit. Pagan is going to move his way over to third, and the Giants have runners at the corner. And it'll be Hunter Pence.
Not seen many high mistakes. And maybe that was the one thing that Mattingly saw, because that's it for Kershaw. 99 pitches into his day, he's done. And it is indeed going to be the right-hander Chris Hatcher.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair expert. Tomorrow morning on KMBR 680. Mike will do that show. He'll either do it in front of the hotel in Denver or in his room.
I just know that I'll have a cup of coffee in my hand.
Well, sometimes you need it with Murph and Max. Sometimes you don't.
I always need it. Chris Hatcher, the new pitcher now for the Dodgers. 19th time that he's come in. 0-3 with a 5.14 ERA. He's a guy that can get you a strikeout and a ground ball, and that is what Don Mattingly wants to see, one or the other. Kershaw's line, 7 1/3, 7 hits allowed, 7 strikeouts, and he is responsible for both runners. A couple walks and a hit batsman.
Pence 1 for 3. Tapper. Slowed down by Hatcher. Everybody's going to be safe. Hatcher, if he doesn't touch it, maybe a double play.
Maybe a double play, and the inning's over indeed. But that's not the way you're wired. You're wired to try and get everything, try and deflect anything just over the top of the glove. And where Kendrick was, I got to believe, and I'd have bet a paycheck on it, they'd have turned this. Even with the great speed of Hunter Pence.
Well, Hatcher throws one pitch, he's gone. So he's going to depart. A run in for the Giants, and we'll be back.
By authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Giants with a run in here in the 8th. It's now 3-0.
New pitcher now for the Dodgers will be the left-hander Paco Rodriguez. Take a look at what he has done in 15 games. No record with a 3.24 ERA. He doesn't throw real hard. He's got pretty good movement with the fastball. He will sink and cut it. But you're going to see a lot of breaking balls if you're hitting from the left side. He's got a curveball and a slider.
Well, nobody hits lefters better than this guy right now. And that's Brandon Crawford.
Crawford 2 for 4 lifetime against him, but he's also struck out 4 times against him.
And the first pitch is high. Belt to follow. Swing, ain't gonna miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. See you, ready to go. And he gets the call at the knees 1 and 2.
Got a little cut fastball. I'm thinking about Sean Barry, the plate umpire. You don't have to catch the ball between the knees to get a strike. If it's in his strike zone, you're going to get the call. He set that target on the inside and it went across the plate away. 4-14 against left-handers.
And he shoots it up the middle for a base hit. Here comes Posey and the throw home, not in time. Pence is going to go to third. He is going to be out at third. Crawford comes up with another big hit and an RBI.
And Roberto Kelly, the Giants' third base coach, having a good day. And he flat out challenged Jock Peterson, who came up with a pretty good throw. But how about Crawford? Another base hit against the lefty, another RBI. And this goes up the first base line a little bit, and that just gave the window of opportunity to Posey, and he takes advantage of it.
So here's Belt. And Belt takes high, 1-0.
He sees right away off the crack of the bat that that's going through. So a nice jump from Posey, and this is what Kelly sees. Money.
And Belt takes high again. It's 2-0.
So those 2 runs that have scored this inning have all been Clayton Kershaw's runs, and he ends the day giving up 4.
Belt fouls this one back.
And the 4 runs the Giants got off of Kershaw, the most he's ever given up in one outing in this ballpark. He has been dominant at AT&T.
Three and 1 to Belt. Swing and a miss. 3-2.
Rodriguez absolutely fearless when it comes to when to throw a breaking ball. Count does not mean a thing to him. He'll throw it 3-0. Bases loaded.
Crawford's going to go. And Belt dribbles in. This for Rodriguez, who's going to pick it up, and he will beat Belt to the bag. And that'll do it. Giants on the board twice on 4 singles. 9th inning coming up.
By a Honda. Madison Bumgarner, well, he would be that gentleman. And why is that? Well, he went 6 1/3 strong innings, did not allow a run, 6 strikeouts in those 6 1/3. And he was dominant and really didn't have the same type of curveball we've seen the last several starts. But he made it work, and he made it work with locating his fastball, his slider. And he also hit a home run, folks. That makes him our Honda player of the game.
And here's A.J. Ellis. Strike to Ellis. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change in auto service. Your oil change tune-up and repair experts.
Santiago Casilla, 19th time that he has come in. This is not a save opportunity. He has been outstanding, 4-0 with a 1.65 ERA.
Andre Ethier is in the on-deck circle. Now it's bright sunshine. 1-2.
Big time sink coming back into the strike zone from the backdoor side at 92 miles per hour. Nice pitch.
Two and two. Two balls, two strikes.
Yep, he's got his broom. Kind of. Little cutter, and he did not miss by much. About the width of a baseball. So A.J. Ellis putting up a pretty good eyeball here. Take that one.
And he walked him.
That's a mistake with a 4-0 lead. And the last thing you want to do is start walking guys. And you can see the anger from Casilla. Still frustrated because he thought he had strike three on the 2-2 pitch that just missed.
So here's Ethier. Ethier's history against Casilla is pretty good. He's 4 for 7 lifetime. And he takes a strike. Rolls it foul past Jack Peterson in the on-deck circle. It's 0-2. Up high, 1-2. Both teams with 9 hits. However, the frustrating part for the Dodgers is they've stranded 10. Got him.
The 92 mile an hour two-seam fastball, it just has nice movement that runs away from the lefty, and he gets a lot of strikeouts against the lefties with that pitch, and you can see the movement just snap right through it. In the eye of Ethier, he's thinking that's a strike, and by the time he gets after it, it's gone.
So here's Peterson. Peterson is 1 for 4. And the fastball is high, 1-0. Yasmani Grandal is on deck. Bouncing ball, Duffy shovels it to Crawford. Double play, game's over, series over, and the Giants sweep the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's 6 straight wins here against Los Angeles for the Giants at AT&T Park, and that's 3 shutouts in this week. Wow.
So the Giants now find themselves a game and a half back of the Dodgers in the National League West. They will get on a plane. They will celebrate just a little bit tonight and take on the Rockies tomorrow. Final score, Giants 4, Dodgers nothing. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for Eastern.